Hello, Shegun Fatumo. Welcome. Bidemi. Welcome. Kennedy Festus. Nice to see you. Ngoya Sharis. Welcome. Yomi Jegede. Daniela Senga. Bose Fayajola. Mayowa. TY. Olayinka Adeyemo, blessings. Pearl David, welcome. Adeola Diso, blessings. Anastasia, welcome. Fumi Jaboda. Maria Olaleye. Ayodeji Bello. Welcome everyone. Wilson Araromi. Joy Alexander. Isaac Amayan. Rochelle White. Wow, let's congratulate Bose Fayajola. It's her birthday today. It's a birthday today. Wow. Hello, my sister. Blessings. Congratulations to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, greetings. Bosse has been constant like a day. Sister Bosse has not been missing any. I don't think she has ever even missed anyone. Since she's been on. So firm, so constant, brilliant. Okay, while you are coming in, let's go ahead and share the link, please. Let's go share this message. This is going to be an important message today. The importance of a father in a boy's life. The importance of a father in a boy's life. So I think a lot of you are raising boys, and if you don't raise boys, if you are not raising boys, maybe you know somebody or the other who might be raising boys. So if you share the link, it could get to them, and they might be able to learn one or two things on how to raise boys. So if you don't mind, let's go ahead right now and look for the share button, which is under this video. Just you have a button in your smartphone. Just let's press that share button right now and quickly share the link to this video. Let's share the message. And let's spread the word, and let's get the boys to come on stage, or let's get their parents to come and learn one or two things. So, Father, in Jesus' name, we commit today into your hand, and we release your blessing upon Sister Bosse. And we pray that you will lift her head up, you will take her to a higher place, more than she could ever imagine and expect. And we pray that you will really minister to us today. You will speak to everybody here that's going to come and join us, and you will help us to be able to give direction to the boys and men in our lives and make our world a better place. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, here we go. The importance of a father in a boy's life. And then in the evening, like I said, I'm going to talk about the importance of a father in a girl's life. So this morning is the importance of a father in a boy's life, but in the evening, I'll be talking about the importance of a father in a girl's life. All right, right now, let me start with statistics. In 2013, that is 3 years ago, in 2013, the investigation, a research, a poll, and a research was conducted in America and in many countries of the world, in Europe, Africa, and many other places. And that research came to the conclusion that boys who grow up without positive male role model are more likely to use drugs or to be wayward, to be rascal, to become criminals, thieves, to lie, to use alcohol. These boys are more prompt to anger. And when I look at Africa, you know, Africa is a place where fathers kind of distance themselves from their sons and from their children generally. In a lot of African homes, it's almost like a taboo to sit together with you, to hug your father or to be close to your dad. It's almost a taboo. And so fathers are not really playing their role, even though they might be there physically. But in a lot of cases, these fathers are not, playing any active role in the lives of their children. And even though there are not too many people who drink, at least where I grew up, I didn't know too many drunkards and alcoholics and drug addicts. But one thing I would say I noticed with African men everywhere, especially in Africa, but even in the diaspora, and even with Black Americans and blacks in general. Blacks in general are ridiculously famous for their anger. They are famous for having high temper, anger issues, and to be very volatile in terms of anger, patience, and things. So Africans are regarded to be people who are explosive in their anger. They have anger issues. They don't control their anger, and they get angry a lot, their emotions. And that also is as a result of lack of fathers. A father is supposed to bring peace. A father is supposed to bring assurance. A father is supposed to bring affirmation. A father is supposed to act as the foundation in a boy's life. And so when that father is not there, or is there physically but is not acting, is not bringing that assurance, when that father is not bringing that foundation, when he's not bringing that establishment, that affirmation, that protection, that peace to the deepest part of that boy's life, one of the things you see in the boys is that you see them becoming angry, displaying a lot of violent behaviors. Even in Africa, those who might not be violent, they still have anger issues. A lot of men have that. Even the women do too, but especially the men. And that is also as a result of lack of men. Now, what I discover in Europe is a little bit different. In Europe here, where there are no fathers, they take to alcohol. Most of those men begin to drink alcohol. Now, especially in England has become, I think, is it number one? I think maybe Ireland is number one, England number two, and Finland number three. Yeah, I think they change positions different times. But these are the three. Before it used to be, during communism, it used to be Russia. Russia used to be number one drinking country in Europe, alcohol country, because there was no father. But now, we have brought the gospel to Russia. We have changed the stories of how things are done in Russia. Now, it's no more Russia, because the gospel has come to stay in this country. We have destroyed the power or the grip of Satan, alcohol and drug upon the life of the people here. And now it has moved to England. So England, Ireland, Finland, Germany, those are the leading countries now when it comes to drinking. And you know why? Because they don't have fathers. Even if they have the fathers, fathers don't react. Fathers don't act as fathers. Even if they have fathers, they just have male. They only have males in those homes. They don't have fathers, only male. But male, it doesn't equal to a father. Like it's just like you have a baby who is 2 years old or 3 years old, who is a male boy, a male baby. That male, even though it's a male, but you don't begin to talk about that baby boy as if that baby is a man. You don't, because it's a child. It's a little 2-year-old, 3-year-old boy. It's a child. So the fact that a male is in the house doesn't mean that you have a man in the house. A male could be in the house and not be a man at all. It could just be a boy. And the fact that a man is there does not mean that he's a real man. He's just a boy. The fact that a male is there doesn't mean that you have a father. So it's a long way. It's a long way and a big difference between a male and a man, or a male and a father. So in those countries, especially in Europe, in America, I don't know. I think I don't know what. I think it's the same problem in America. In America, I think it's a melting pot. Everything. When there is no father, they become drunkards. They become alcoholic. They have anger issues. They become violent. They go into crime. And that is because there is no man that, yesterday I spoke to you about the fact that men or fathers are supposed to bring assurance. They are supposed to bring assurance to the boys, and they are supposed to bring affirmation to the girls. That's what we spoke about yesterday, okay? So when the man is there and is not acting as a man, he's not acting as the foundation, he's not acting as a father, he's not bringing and he's not, instilling assurance in the boy. And when the boy is not having assurance, he's empty inside. And that emptiness drives him into trying to fill it with something. And what does he fill it with? Either he's filling it with drugs, or he's filling that emptiness with alcohol, or he's filling it with, with stealing and violence, or he's just frustrated, even if he's not drinking, just frustrated and angry. And that's what we see with African men most of the time. High temper, anger, and because nobody has brought them that peace, that assurance, that steadiness. And it's most likely too that this kind of kids will not study well. They don't study well because they have attention issue. Those boys who didn't have a father figure in their lives, they have attention issue. They cannot, be still. And even if they are still, they are absent-minded. So now, at this stage, I think I must talk about single mothers again. I keep on talking about single mothers. I spoke about them yesterday. Just because I'm sure some people are here thinking, what about we who don't have fathers? I will tell you that 90% of all of people who are married don't have fathers in the house. Even though they are having husbands, they still don't have fathers. 90% of married people still don't have fathers too. Because those fathers are not doing anything. They don't even know how to be a father. Or to be a man, talk less of being a father. So if you are a single mom, and because some women have husbands, but they are single mothers. So if you are a single mother, what I think is that you need to study these principles and try to manifest them yourself to your kids and to your son. But more importantly, you could also, it doesn't have to be your father. A man, like I said in one of my teachings, a man or a boy needs to imitate. The most important thing for a boy is to imitate a man. A man wants to imitate somebody. He needs a hero. So it doesn't have to be his biological father, which is the best, of course. But if the biological father is not responsible, it could be a godfather, kind of. It could be a pastor. It could be, just find a role model. A role model, maybe it could be your uncle, your brother, your relative. It could be a friend. It could be a coach, a trainer. Just find somebody that is respectable, that is admirable. and bring him, let him begin to speak into the life of that woman, of that boy. Expose the boy and to the mentorship of that person. Okay, next thing, next point that I think I should talk about is that if there is no role model or there is no father in the family, like I already mentioned that, academically, children don't do good. Because the statistics says like this, that boys who have real fathers, who had real fathers in their homes, or who were raised up by real fathers, or who had real father figures, they did 2 times better. They did 2 times better in their education than the boys who never had a father. So Shioma is saying, in other words, absence of fathers is the reason why there are problems in the world today. Of course, that is what I've been trying to say all this while I've been teaching. That's why I've been paying all this attention to this problem of men and boys. And some people say I'm paying to is discrimination or something. No, it's not discrimination. It's just because of what I know. I know the importance of men in the society, in our world. Every crisis you see in the world today, every problem in the world is as a result of lack of men. So Shioma got it. If we fix this one issue of fathers, then we'll fix the problem of the world. Of course. Now Shioma is talking. That's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because even in schools, right? The families where there is a father figure, either there is a real father or a father figure, the boys study well, they study better, and they do twice better educationally than the kids and the boys who didn't have a father. Like when I was growing up, let me tell you the story of my own family. Of course, I never knew my father, and I never knew my mother too until I was late in life. But my father, I never even saw him. And I was raised by my grandmother. As much as she was good, she was so good, she was so caring, but as good as she was, I couldn't get the headway in school. I couldn't just do well in school. It was just not working out for me to be good in school. So the teachers would be hitting me in the head like this, beating me and hitting me and saying, we don't know any one single Adelajas that don't study well. All Adelajas are smart. All Adelajas are wise, are smart. They study well. What kind of Adelaja is this one? Who are you? So they kind of brought all kind of low self-esteem into my life, and I started thinking that, okay, even though I'm Adelaja, but maybe it's my father who is not Adelaja, who is another, it's my mother's side that is Adelaja. Maybe I got the wrong blood from somewhere, But now, thinking about it, you know what I think? They said, yes, we never knew one Adelaja who was not doing well, who was not brilliant, who was not smart. Now I'm thinking about it. All those Adelajas who were smart, they had, my grandfather was still alive. And my grandfather was a great father who was a great father for them. So my grandfather was doing well. My grandfather was with the boys. And he sent them to school, he sent all the boys to school, and the boys were doing so well because the father was there. But by the time I was born, my grandfather was already dead. By the time I was born, my grandfather was already dead. So there was no single man in the whole family. So I couldn't do well. But thank God for God. I discovered a superior father. I discovered a heavenly father. I have a father, he will never ever fail me. I have a father, he will never ever fail me. Jehovah Father, you never ever fail me. Rock of ages, you never fail. I don't know if I'm singing it right or I'm not, but I think there's a song like that I picked up when I was visiting Nigeria. I think it's a great song. It's a great song. And that's my miracle. That's my story. When I discovered God the Father, when God came into my life, the story changed. The story changed. And now it's like a blasphemy to think that I'm dull and to think that I'm not smart. You have to find, in fact, some people are thinking, in fact, let me even tell you, a scientist here from the Academy of Sciences here, they went and took a test of me to go and try me. And they went and took my samples to the laboratory to find out what kind of mind is this, what makes me tick. And they discovered that my potential, my resources, my capacity is stronger than some of the highest people with the greatest IQs in the world. And they said that one of the highest they've ever tested. One of the highest they've ever tested. So, and here I couldn't even read when I was in high school. I couldn't read till I was 10. And here I couldn't even concentrate in school. Anyway. So the role of fathers cannot be overemphasized. The role of fathers cannot be overemphasized. The fathers are needed. Not just absent fathers, not just fathers who are there and they are not really there, but I'm talking about real fathers. Fathers who know their role and play their role. Fathers fathers who are real men, who know who they are, who are real foundation. So when boys have good fathers present in their lives, raising them up, affirming them, or at least they have good role models, they have a better chance of becoming better fathers in their own families when they start a home. And they also, this is historically, this is research-based, this is statistics. Also, there are they become more successful, two times more successful as fathers, as family men, than people who grew up without fathers. More than that, more so, they even divorce less. So boys who are raised by good fathers, they hardly experience divorce. They are normally always faithful to their spouse and to their family. But when they have bad examples as fathers, 2 times more susceptible to failure and to messing up. But also, who is better qualified to raise up sons, to raise up better sons, to raise up children than a father who was well fathered himself, who had a good example? Okay, somebody is giving me the words of that song. I have a father. Yesterday, Awules is giving me the words of the song. I have a father who will never ever fail me. I have a father who will never ever fail me. Jesus, okay, Jesus is my father. He will never ever fail me. Rock of ages, never ever fail. All right. I have a father who will never ever fail me. I have a father who will never ever fail me. Jehovah is my father. He will never ever fail me. Rock of ages, never ever fails. Okay, I just picked it up while they are saying, so I didn't know the words. Because we don't sing those kind of songs here. No Africans around me to sing things like that. But I like it. That's one of the things I will enjoy when I get back to Africa. I'll get to sing African songs. Here they sing different kind of songs, but no African songs like this. All right, so another point that we need to know is that, and I think you people are noting some of this, if a boy or a man is raised up by a father, by a godly father who is a good example to him, another thing that research has discovered is that the boys who are raised up by a good father, a good role model, those boys go along to have a good relationship with their siblings. They have good relationship with their siblings. But in those families where the father was not there, or the father was not responsible, or the father was an absent father, the siblings always have crisis, especially if there were many wives. Even if they are single wife, with the same father, the same mother, when the father was not there, and the father does not play his role, and the father is not close to the boys, and they didn't raise up the boys don't relate very well with their sisters. The boys don't relate very well with their brothers. And this family is not neatly joined together and close normally, because the father is the bond that is supposed to be holding that whole relationship and that whole family together through his own example, and by him functioning as a real example, as a real foundation. But one of the most important things that people have noticed, and that has been discovered in boys who are raised up by real men and by real fathers, is that those boys that were raised up by real fathers and real, role model of men, real good role models, is that these boys they feel more secured in life. And you know the reason, because I spoke about that yesterday, that one of the things that a real father brings to his family is protection and security. A father brings the sense of security and protection to the children, to the family, to the wife, and to the family. So a boy that is raised up and that grows up in that kind of atmosphere, he walks about life with a more sense of security. He is more secure. He feels himself more secure in his life. He walks about, he's more secure in life, he's more confident, he's more secure, he's more secure in himself. And because why do boys drink? Why do boys want to go and try out crimes and go to gangs and things like that? Because they are not secured. Why is it that they want to go and listen to the bad boys and bad examples? Because they don't feel secured. But when a father is there, when a real role model is there, then the boy feels secured. Another thing that happens to the boys when they are raised up by real fathers is that they are more confident. Those boys are more confident in life. They are more confident about themselves, and they are more confident in life. Another thing that that has been noticed and discovered about these boys who are raised up by real men is that they are more empathetic. They are more empathetic. They have more empathy. They have more empathy, and they are more empathetic to their surrounding, to their world, and to their friends. And as a result, at the end of the day, these kids that had real good role models, they become more successful. They become more successful in life than those who didn't have a father or had an absentee father. So, because the ones who have an absentee father keep on running into trouble, one trouble and the other, and they keep on experimenting and come to failure. Next thing that has been discovered about boys that were raised up by real men, if a boy is raised up by real men or real role model, is that they don't fall under peer pressure. They don't easily fall under peer pressure. More so, they also are not normally afraid of bullies. and they don't bully them. You know, the person they bully, the boys they bully are normally the boys that are not having self-assurance and self-confidence. The boys that are bullied are normally the boys that are a little bit timid. The boys that are bullied are the boys that can't stand for themselves. And, you know, there is something in you for you to be bullied. It means that there is something you lack. That's why you are bullied. So these boys who have real good fathers and who have real self-confidence, they are not likely to be bullied by others, and they are most likely not to be to engage in just fighting. And because who are the boys that keep on fighting everywhere? They are fighting because they want to establish themselves. They want to establish their authority. They want to confirm and affirm that they are somebody, because they didn't have that affirmation from their fathers. They want to affirm that they are strong, and they want to be accepted. They want to be accepted. That is why the boys fight everywhere. So these boys that have real father figure in their lives, they don't need to do that because they are already affirmed. They are already accepted. And the boys that that don't have real father also, they are susceptible to lying. They lie, exaggerate to be able to affirm themselves. They're able to, make of themselves better than they are. And women become the victim, because the men who lie is a big problem for women, because it's going to tell them a lot of lies, and the women will believe. And some of the women are falling into the hands of those men now. Some of the women who are married now, they are in the wrong marriage, in the wrong relationship, because they believe the lies of men. And these men who never had a good role model, they lie all the time, because they need to affirm themselves. They need to show and paint a picture that they are bigger than who they really are or how they really are. And so that is one of the consequences of not having a father. But the ones who are the father, not just having a father in the house only. I'm talking about real performing fathers who are good and who really know who they are, who are foundation. And so that's why those people don't need to lie, because they already know who they are. They're already secured, and they don't need to cheat. They don't need to be cheating around, because they are sure of themselves. They have self-confidence. They don't lose their temper anyhow, because they have peace of mind, and they don't need to acting in anger and beating up their wives and their children everywhere, because they have peace of mind with themselves. They are settled. So a lot of things are connected to either a boy is being raised with a father or not. So these are all the importance of a father in a boy's life. There is nothing that can replace it. Almost nothing is as important as having a father in a boy's life. Next thing that we need to know about a boy that is raised up with a father is that these boys, they are normally having vision. They normally have vision and direction in their life. They are always goal-oriented if they have a father. Fathers give direction. You see, every boy, every person, either boy or girl, every person needs a direction in life, right? But if you're a boy, boys are more difficult to manage, and boys are normally not ruly. They are unruly normally. They don't listen. So because boys don't listen, they need an authority figure. That's why a father is needed. So boys are stubborn. Boys have more, energy in them, adrenaline. They need to let it go. And so a man is needed, because if boys don't have an authority figure or a male figure, it's difficult to stop them from misbehaving. So men need direction. Boys need direction. Somebody needs to put them on a straight line, on a narrow way, and guide them to be able to live right and to be able to do what is right. So when such a man is not there, when such a father is not present, what happens? The boys go awry. They begin to do anything they like. But boys who have a father figure, they kind of become more focused. They are driven to success. They are more at peace with themselves, and they are more goal oriented. They are more focused. Another thing that boys need, is that boys need examples. Like I said earlier on one of the days, that one of the things that men are called to do is to copy. Men are called to copy. So boys need a hero model in their lives. They need a hero figure, a heroic figure, an example. Man needs a hero. If they don't find a hero in their family, and they don't find a hero in their surrounding, or in their sports activities, or in their school, or in their church, they will go and find that hero in the television, the movie industry, in Hollywood, or wherever. They will go and be messing up and be, doing all the wrong things that they see in the films. So every family needs a father. Every boy needs a hero. Every boy needs a father figure. Even if you are a single mother, go and find somebody who might be able to help your son to be a hero. The most important thing to boys is to have a hero, somebody they would like to be like, someone that they would like to copy, someone that they admire. They must admire. So if they have a father that is because one of the things that the father is supposed to bring to the family is to bring that heroic symbol. A father is supposed to be a symbol of success. A father is supposed to be a symbol of greatness that the son and the sons want to copy, that they want to admire. If the father is not like that, find somebody like that, so that there will be somebody, that is, that boy will be willing to model his life after, and that will save him from a lot of trouble. Women also can do this, but the woman has to be successful. The woman has to be strong. The woman has to have these qualities. So a woman can raise a boy or raise sons or children alone, but she has to have the qualities. She has to have the principles. So the most important thing is not either she's a woman or a man. It's the principles that she passes across, but it's more natural for the man to walk in these principles than the woman. Women have other things that they bring to the table. So next point, boys also need a man or a male role model, so as to teach them and to show them by example how to overcome adversities, and to show them courage. Men need to show boys courage. They need to show the boys the example of courage, example of boldness, examples of exploits. Real men need to come and show the boys that life is about fighting, and that life is about winning, and that life is about courage, and life is about overcoming. It's not natural for the women to be the ones fighting and winning and all that. That women are supposed to bring other things. Women are supposed to bring softness, tenderness, love, kindness, and things like that. But the man is supposed to show the boy what it means to fight. Men must learn how to fight. They must learn how to fight for their visions. They must learn how to fight for their goals. They must learn how to fight for success. They must learn how to defend the women. They must learn how to fight for the children, for their wives. For the boys must be taught that. And who could better teach them than the men? Who could better teach them than the good example of a successful man? So we need a role model. Every boy needs a successful role model, so as to share the stories of courage and how to overcome adversities. One of the most important things a boy could be taught and should be taught in the family is to understand that men are supposed to do the most difficult task. That men are supposed to perform the most difficult tasks. That men are not supposed to run from difficult tasks. That men are not supposed to run from difficulties. That men are supposed to face difficulties head on. Men are supposed to be strong in times of difficulty, in times of trials, and be there to perform and to face the challenges of life and to bring succor and comfort to the world around, and especially to the women. So men must be, that's why we give boys to sports. That's why boys must be engaged in one sport or the other. They need sports so that they will learn, they will get used to pain, and they will know how to overcome pain and difficulties. You need to give them to sport, especially boxing, wrestling, all those kind of, not just football. Football is a team game. Not just the team game, but team game also is good, team sport also is good, but single sports where they have to stand for themselves, sports where they have to receive punch and give back, sports where they throw them to the ground and come back again and they throw the other one to the ground. So those kind of sports are also needed. So because they know how to to face the challenges of life. And so when I tell girls, ladies, I tell you that don't look at it, that it is a foolish girl that will go and marry an unsuccessful man. I know what I'm talking about. Because the reason success, why should ladies be only married to successful men? Why is it that ladies should only look for successful men to marry? Because it is through that success you'll be able to gauge him, how he's able to undo life situation. Through his success, you'll be able to see, is he courageous in life enough to be able to weather through life? Is he courageous enough to overcome all the adversities of life? Life is full of adversities, especially for the men. And the men are supposed to fight those adversities and supposed to, subdue those adversities for the women. Women are not supposed to be facing all the adversities of life. Women are supposed to be shielded from life's adversities. So what I see these days in homes, that women are the ones facing all the adversities and holding all the home together and weathering through the storms of life, is wrong. It's wrong. It's not the role of women. Women are not the ones to be facing the adversities of life and trying to overcome them. Women are not the ones to be showing courage to be facing and coming against the problems and issues of the family. It's destructive. That is the role of men. That is the place of men. Men are the ones who are supposed to shield the women. That is why every time, in every stage of history, anywhere in history, men are always the ones who go to war. They go and meet the enemies at the gate. They go and stop the enemies. They go to the field. They go to the war front so that the women will be protected, so that the women will never have to face the bullets of the enemy. That is the way it's supposed to be. And that is why a wise girl and a wise woman will open her eyes and see how this man has proved himself to have learned to overcome adversities before she joins her life with him. So that's why I don't believe that any girl should marry a man just for them to fight together through life and be successful together. That's rubbish. That is what people are saying. It is rubbish. A girl is supposed to sit down in her father's house until a man comes who is a hero. Until a man comes who has gone through some things in life. Until a man comes who has proved with his life that is able to weather the storms of life, that is able to confront life challenges and to overcome them. Because marriage will throw you people a lot of more challenges. Marriage will throw you people into a lot of more battles. You have more problems in marriage. And if that man doesn't know how to overcome life challenges when he's single, when he's married, it will make things worse. And it will just make the life of that woman miserable. So women shouldn't turn to men at all. Another thing that a father brings to the family, for the boy, why a boy needs a father, is because, that boy needs he needs to exhibit qualities that they would like to copy and emulate. They have to emulate. I mean, they have to, look at the right qualities physically before them. They have to see them. They have to see how men perform, how men behave, how real men behave. They have to see, not just hear that a man is a pillar, a man is a covering, a man is a foundation, but boys need to see it in practice. Boys need to see practical manifestation, practically how real men are supposed to behave. Boys need to see how men respect their mothers. Boys need to see the example of how men treat women with dignity, with respect, and with honor. Boys need to see how men bring protection to the family. Boys need to see how real men bring comfort, bring assurance to their mother, to their brothers, to their sisters, to their siblings. They need a man in their lives that will show them that how to be proud to be a man, that will show them courage, that will show them the example of how to meet goals, how to pursue goals, that will embolden them to strive to become like these men as well. So that's why a real man, fathers, there's nothing that's cool, nothing more important than fathers, nothing more important than real manhood. So you men who have been complaining that why is it that I'm only talking about that it's not fair, 50-50. You are kidding me? Are you kidding me that I should be talking to women and men 50-50? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me that I should be putting all the body on the woman? Are you kidding me? 50-50? I know too much to be able to behave like that. I know too much what is demanded of men. I know too much who a man is supposed to be than to be talking 50-50 to the man and 50-50 to the woman. It is not a 50-50 thing. It is the men are the ones who hold the world together. The men are supposed to be the ones who are responsible to the earth. We are the managers of the earth. We are the foundation of life. We are the pillars of life. So don't talk to me about 50-50. The next thing we need, the next reason why boys need men in the house is that it takes a real man to teach a boy to become a man. If you have never flown a plane, if you have never been a pilot yourself and you have never flown a plane, how can you possibly teach another person to become a pilot? If you have never learned swimming, you've never swimmed before, how will you be able to teach other people to swim? It takes a real man. It takes a real man to teach a boy to become a man. Of course, like I said, women also who have learned the right principles can do their best. But if you have a man who is a real example of man, that is much better. And let me tell you one thing about boys, really. Even not just boys and girls too. Children don't really learn by being taught too much. They learn by observing. So children they are not just listening to you, what you are teaching them, but they want to imitate you. Children, like men, they just imitate what they see before them. So we need a man that is there that could be imitated by their sons. And if it's a bad example, they imitate that bad example. And it's horrible. I came across a quotation from Frederick Douglass, the civil rights fighter in America, right? The abortionist hero, Frederick Douglass. He said that it is easier to build strong children, than to repair broken men. It is always easier to build strong children to become strong men than to now begin to repair strong men who are already broken men, who are already grown up, but they are already grown up big and to begin to repair them is much more difficult. But it's easier to build up strong men from children than to repair broken men. So you mothers who are here today and parents who are here, there is still future for our children and for your children. We can still teach them the right stuff. And like I said, please, let's go ahead and share the link to this message. I think we might need to spread this word. I think this word needs to go around. I think this message needs to be spread about. Let's think of how we can spread it. So if you have not yet shared the link to this message, let's go share the link. Let's go share the link. Let's go. The link is under your video. Just under the video there, you can find the share button. Let's go share the link and let's spread the word. Maybe it's going to help somebody. It could help, and the future of some children or some boys or some even families right now. Let's go ahead and share the word, and you could listen to it again and learn how to raise up your children. Now, let me quickly, before I say I have a few minutes, let me quickly talk about what every father has to teach his son. What every father has to teach his son. What every father has to teach his son. Teach your son the power of the willpower. Teach your son the power of the will. Teach him about his will. Teach him to be strong in his decisions and his resolutions. Teach him to live by principles and to stand strong for truth. Next point. Teach your son to always take responsibility for the woman. Teach him to always be a defender and a protector of women. Teach him to always be kind. And be protective of ladies. Teach your son that. Teach your son to always carry the weight and the burden of any lady or woman that he sees around him. Teach your son that respect will not come to him automatically just because he's a boy or he's a male or he's a man. Teach him that he has to earn his respect. Tell him that trust and respect must be earned. Both trust and respect are not given. They must be earned. So talk to your son and let him know that for him to be respected, he must learn to multiply good. He must learn to earn respect and trust of people. Next thing you need to teach your son as a father, or maybe even as a mother, is that teach your son the importance of hard work. Let him know that there's nothing that can substitute hard work. Don't teach him about those stupid, foolish things that charismatics are teaching now, that one day of favor is more than 10 years or 10 years or 100 years of hard labor. Don't teach them those rubbish. Don't teach them those charismatic, religious rubbish. Let him know that everything only depends on his hard work. He should do what he needs to do. If God needs to give him favor, he will give him favor. You don't wait for favor. Work for favor. When you have done your own work, your own side, then God will decide either to give you favor or not. When you are waiting for favor, it's not in your hand either to get favor or not. It's not in your hand. Do what depends on you. Hard work depends on you. Learn to do hard work. Next point. Teach your son that don't let me say that. People might misunderstand what I wanted. I wanted to say, when you are married, teach your son that when he's married, he should never believe when his wife tells him, I'm okay, I will do it myself, I will fix it myself. You know, women sometimes will say that I'm okay, she's okay, I will do it myself, I can do it myself. I wanted to say, never believe her. Still go and help her anyway. She might be saying that because she wants to know if you are going to come ahead and still do that for her. But the reason I didn't want to say that is that I know that sometimes that women don't need the help of the man really, but just have that in mind. Another thing you need to teach your son is that he must be the best everywhere. Teach your son to be the head and not the tail. Teach your son to be the first and not the last. Teach him to strive for the best and to be among the great in his generation. Another thing you need to teach your son that life is opportunity. Teach your son that opportunities are everywhere. And that he should never believe that there are no opportunities in life, that life is an opportunity. Next point. Teach him to discover his calling, his promised land, and teach him to live for the kingdom and to bring the promised land, to bring the kingdom of God to that promised land. Next point. Teach your son to always give, to always do more than is required. Teach him, tell him to always do more than what is required. He should always go the extra mile. He should always go the extra mile. Next point. Teach your son that his word is his bound. His word is his bound. His word is his bound. That his word is him. His word is his bound. He must do what he says and mean what he says and says what he means. Next thing you need to teach your son is teach him the loss of money. Teach him the loss of money. Teach him how to make money and how to sustain money. How to make money and how to retain money. Teach your son not to be an excuse giver and not to be involved and engage in self-pity. Don't let him be given. He shouldn't be the type that gives excuse and engages himself in self-pity. Next point. Teach your son to always take responsibility. He never run away from responsibility. Let him always take responsibility. Next point. Teach your son never to become an oppressor of the weak. Teach him to always rather be the uplifter of men and of the weak. Nice point. Teach your son that everything is possible for him also. Everything is possible. I don't know how many points I've given you, but I think we should actually turn this teaching into a book. If there is anybody there that is out there that might be interested in helping turn this teaching into a book, I'm looking for writers. Please write to me. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. pastor@godembassy.org. I think we need to turn this into a book. I sense it, that we really need to turn this into a book. Please, if you have not shared the link yet, let's go and share this. Let's go and press the share button so that we could listen to this again and again and be able to spread it. And when you are sharing the message, please make sure that you write some comments so that people could see how important it is for them to watch. Oluwatope Sheung says, sons are twice susceptible to failure in the absence of a father. Yep, I've said that. TY says, Dr. Adelaja, you are so correct. I remember when my husband left us, my little boy went from top in class to rock bottom. Wow. Then I went to his class and affirmed him in front of his teacher and classmates, and like magic, he went back to being not just first in a class, but in the whole form or year. Affirmation cannot be overemphasized. Wow, wow, wow. That is great. Paul David says, bullies are victims, void of father, so they portray the protection they seek from a father or who they could prey on. The prey represents them, and as a bully, they portray a father figure hero, and parents go out and punish them rather than understand their cry. Yeah. Paul says responsible fathers hold their children accountable because they themselves are accountable. Yep. Noel says, yes, that is true. There is importance of father. When I am very strong and stubborn. Before I got married, only my dad could calm me down. But no. Now, two things that my wife and maturity goes through. Yeah. Vivian Taylor says, watching my 5 and 2-year-olds confirm to me the truth that they repeat everything they see. Yep. Yesterday says, I am mega attentive to this teaching because it's really touching the innermost part of my heart. Yeah. Pearl David said, I imitated my father so much that I still walk like him. I wasn't born this way. I practiced it because his presence commanded the room, and oh boy, I admire that so much. The point is, who would you rather have your child imitate? Because there are dangerous fakes around. TY, oh my days, I hate those sports and always try to stop my son watching them, but he's so drawn to them and the games. Oh wow. Poor David. Ladies marry right because lady marries right because her father set the standard. If I cannot present you to father, I promise I will not waste a man's time. Yetunde said, I'm feeling so high on this message. It's very intoxicating. Unfortunately, things are not that way. Women are in the forefront and have taken the position of men. That is heartbreaking. Davida said, when a boy of a single mom sees his mother confronting the challenges of life, struggling against adversities all his life, when he gets married, he assumes this is the role of the woman. So he hides behind the woman when challenges come. Yeah, unfortunately. TY, Dr. Adelaja, that is what we are taught, sir, and told of when we wanted men who have succeeded. We were termed materialistic and ungodly. So we entered prison of hard labor. Deception. Gift Amos, I have discovered women that normally face the adversity of life, providing for many of those men have heart problems, and I believe all the doctor understand better what I'm saying. Poor David, I never heard my father raise his voice on me, my siblings, or my mother. Neither have I heard him argue with my mom. How much more raise a hand or actually hit? Woe is he that dares to be the opposite. Wow. Yetunde says, great man of God with divine wisdom, my mentor for life. You know right, big ox. Omonika says, Pastor Adelaja, back home where I come from, if a young lady does not want to marry a man that has not made it, she will be tagged as materialistic lady. So they end up looking for a man that is still growing up, that does not have any experience. That's horrible. Davida says, these teachings are taking off such a burden and load off my back. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Wow. Noel Okoshuku says, wow, sir, then what did my wife see in me that made her agree to me? I got married in my final year in school. All through our years of courtship, I lived a triangular life, that is school, church, house. Then later got a man, a small Nissan, and did taxi even while in school. But honestly, I can't find a reason on a particular attribute that made her agree to me. But today, God is building her life. I respect her big time, honestly. Yes, but the fact that she agreed to marry you doesn't make it a a wise decision for her. You ask her, what has she gone through by marrying somebody who is still struggling? You ask her how much pain she has gone through. You ask her how much suffering she has gone through, as she has endured. You ask her how much tears she has cried without even you. So people look at their wives and their families and their parents and say, oh, my parents was nobody, or my father was nobody when my mother married, or my wife was nobody, I was nobody when my wife married me. That doesn't make it right. We are talking about the way it should be done ideally. The fact that people are living like that doesn't mean that that's the ideal way of doing things. We should talk about the ideal way, the way things are supposed to be. Shioma says, let's spread this message through our various circles. This will change our world. Davida is saying, the picture of most marriages is this: a woman walking with a big load on her head and back, while the man is riding on the horse. At the same time, he expects her to keep up with the horse, feed the horse, and take care of him. That is horrible. That is horrible. Vivian Taylor, every father teach the son to be should teach the son to be strong for the truth, to take responsibility for the woman, to be kind, to carry weight and burden, and to show respect. Yetunde said, I'm really feeling sad right now. So many lives have been destroyed because of absentee fathers. God help us. Vivian Taylor, teach them hard work. Work for favor. Hard work depends on them. Teach them that when he marries, never believe the wife is feeling okay when she says she will do it herself. Take responsibility from her. It must be the best among the great. Life is an opportunity. Okay, those are the things I said. Mosun Oni says, sir, what can be done about grown-up broken men? We have so many of them around us. Can they still be helped? Yes. Let's organize seminars. Let's organize teaching programs through this teaching. Go and gather all the teachings that I've done, all the things I've said about men. Go and gather them, and let's organize teachings and trainings for these men. Let's organize HMT for men. Gift Amos says, I'm really glad about this message because many of us do not really understand. We didn't understand Proverbs 22. TY says, thank you, Lord, sir. These are priceless gems. Love you, love you, love you. Ugo Emeka says, I am more than blessed to be on this platform. Dr. Adelaja, you are a gift to this generation. Many people and families have been healed, and God will always bless you for making the right kind of impact in our broken world. Oh, Abraham Great is here. Thank you, sir. Kike Adetiba says, thank you, Pastor, for this wonderful teaching, impacting generation. Abosede Roberts, I enjoy every bit of this teaching. I'm really blessed. I pray that our men will put all these points you made into practice. You know that tonight, I'm coming back tonight to teach about the importance of fathers in the life of the girls. So if you know some girls or some parents who have girls, you might want to invite them. Tonight we are talking about the role of fathers in the life of the girls. Fola Shade said, I'm blessed to have come and discover your teaching. TY, we did not get the fixture on men, the way you refuse to budge. Now our eyes are open. We see that this is the bedrock of the society. May God continue to uphold you and strengthen you. Thank you. And please stay on this topic. Deborah Cole, money cannot buy these teachings you have sold to us free of charge. You have given to us free of charge. Only Jesus can continue to bless you more abundantly in wisdom, strength, and as you desire. God bless. Sandra said, this platform is a blessing, and I wish fathers truly pay attention to these teachings, because these teachings are life-changing and destiny transforming. God bless you, Dr. Adelaja. Maria Olaleye, some women have been forced to attain the position of the man in their homes because their husbands do nothing. Yeah. Afolabi Victor said, Dr. Adelaja is not teaching us what we want to hear, but what we need to hear. Yeah, you got it now. You got it. Bishop Godwin Mark, man of God, you are blessed. Thanks. Thank you. Omonika said, Pastor Adelaja, our cultural mindset should be changed so that young men should know that they should be able to cater for their wives and have a good job or career that can sustain their family when they get married. Thanks, Dr. Adelaja, once again for this teaching. Yep. Princess Juliet, God bless you, our great mentor. Thank you. Pearl David, pastor to the unwed folks here, you are sparing many people who weren't taught. You didn't have a standard to measure by, even people who got taught but refused to learn and is heading towards a head-on collision towards a train in form of marriage. Shioma says that our churches have truly failed by not sharing these teachings. They have contributed to the damages on earth. Gift Amos, thank you, my mentor, for teaching parents how to build their marriage and what to also teach their children. Wow. No pastor teacher have ever had these issues. Have ever raised these issues. Thank you. Vivian Taylor, I am glad for the first day I met you at Shekinah Church in Tennessee. You had many books. Please write this book soon. This will be a bestseller with this kind of teaching. Blessings to you, Pastor Sunday. Monson, he said, I agree with you, sir. I have a serious burden for these broken men. Men on the platform, can we begin to organize seminars? We really need to do something soonest. Ufuma, thank you so much, Pastor Sunday. So blessed by these teachings. May God multiply His grace upon you. Marion Stephens, I am learning so much. Now I can relate to my son better. Excellent message. Bidemi, thank you so much, sir, all the way from Cyprus. We honor you always. TY, cannot wait for that first HMT in Nigeria. Wow, imagine how many people without visa, wow, is that Wahala, will be transformed? Waghala? Even all over West Africa, it will be something else. Excited. Paul said many church leaders cannot teach on fatherhood because they lack one. Having one, so there is nothing to multiply. Thank you, Pastor, for fathers like you. form in your body. There is hope with these teachings. God bless you mightily, sir. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's time to go. We'll see you tonight. Blessings. We'll be talking about the girls tonight. Go and share and spread the word. Bye.